So today I received my very first Raspberry Pi. It's actually my first single board computer that I've ever owned. So today we're going to open it up. We're going to add it to, I have a case from Smraza. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. It's Smraza. So we'll mount the Raspberry Pi in the case and then we'll set it up and get it running. So first things first, we shall open this up. And there it is, the Raspberry Pi. As you can see, it's quite small. So we're going to start with the components. Here we have the SoC, or the system on a chip. Around the back, this is where the RAM is. We've got 1 GB of SD RAM. Over here, this little guy there, that's the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth controller. Over here, we have the Ethernet port. So it's a gigabit Ethernet, but it's Ethernet over USB 2.0. So its maximum throughput is only 300 megabits per second. We have our GPIO connector, or header here for adding on extra components. Right here we have the full-size HDMI output. We have 4 USB 2.0 ports right here. And over here we have a CSI port for connecting a Raspberry Pi camera. And over here a DSI port for connecting a Raspberry Pi touchscreen display. Here we have a 4-pole stereo output, which also outputs composite video. Under here we have our micro SD port. And also over here we have our 5-volt, 2.5 amp DC power input. So our next step is to actually mount the Pi into its case. So I purchased a case from Smraza, S-M-R-A-Z-A. Not quite sure how to pronounce that. So let's look at everything that came in the box. So we've got a fan. We've got, these are our heat sinks. So there's 3 heat sinks, sorry. A 14mm one for the CPU and a 14mm one for the RAM, as well as a 9mm one for the LAN controller, or the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth controller. We've got ourselves a power supply. And what else do we have? We have the case itself. So I got this from Amazon. Not quite certain what it's going to look like. It's supposed to have some wood grain or something on it. So here we go. So it actually looks kind of nice. So it's partly transparent, and there's the fake wood grain, or whatever that material is. So that is the case. So why don't we begin? So this case actually comes in multiple layers. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but so we'll start by taking all of the layers apart. So I'll just unscrew this. So let's start peeling away the layers. So here's the top part. The wood grain. Actually, this does feel like it might be real wood. Put that over there. This layer. Yeah, I'm not totally certain how to do this, so let's just start trying. Put that, and this layer as well. And then we'll place the Pi, I guess sort of, turn it around this way. Pi right in here. Ah, there we go. Just kind of places itself nicely. So going to do this, and also I've got the instructions in front of me now. It might be a little bit helpful. So this piece, you're going to have to gently guide it in because I don't have the heat sinks quite straight. There we go. Okay, I'm back. So I have attached the fan to the wooden part of the case. So it'll go in like that. Now, prior to doing that, we need to connect the leads of the fan up. So in the little pamphlet that came with it, it shows to use just the GPIO header for power. And we can see that the third one in on the top is ground, and the second one in is 5 volts. So we will just connect like that. So if I can do this with my 5 fingers, third one in, the second one in red. There we go. Now place this in here. Good, and then just one more layer to go. It will go that way. And there we have all of our layers hooked together. It's a strange type of case, but it works. So, let's see if I put these in straight. That should go all the way through. Like that. Good, good, good. And then I'll just bolt these together. So here we have it. I've got it bolted together. I think it actually looks quite smart. So here we've got our USB and our Ethernet port. Down here, the heatsink on the RAM. Here's where we put our micro SD card. HDMI out, power in, and the pull out for the audio and composite video. And there's the fan. And the wood grain, it's actually real wood, and I think it looks quite nice. So got a micro SD card, and what I've done is I've put the noobs, or the newbies, however you pronounce that, the setup program for Raspbian onto here. So we'll just place it in there. And then I have a dongle for a wireless keyboard and mouse. So that'll just go onto one of the USB ports. If it'll fit. Not sure why it's so tight. Yep, there we go. And now I'm going to connect it to the TV, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I've got it set up in my TV console next to my Apple TV, and I'm going to turn it on. This is the very first time ever, so if it pops and bursts into flames, you'll see why. Oh, we have something. Good, that's a good sign. Excellent. So I've started with the noobs. Just because this is my first time with a Pi, I thought it would be better to kind of do it the easy way. So here we go. I'm going to click that we want Raspbian, and we're going to install. And yep. One thing I noticed in the bottom. We have English Canada, no we don't, so let's stick with UK, but our keyboard is US. So that took about 12 minutes. So OS is installed successfully, so okay. And it's going to reboot. So welcome to the Raspberry Pi desktop. Good. So the country we're in is, oops, not Uganda. We're up here in Canada, top of the list. The language, we'll go with, Canadian English. Time zone, I'm in Edmonton, and yes, I'm using a US keyboard. Next. Password. We're in the Basement Dwellers Association. Password. Oops. And there's a software update. There we have it. The system is up to date. So I'll just click OK. There we go. Need to reboot, so we'll do that. And the updates took about 10 minutes. And here we have it. We are at the Raspbian Stretch desktop. So the first thing we're going to do, one thing, and that is go to the recommended software. I'm just going to make sure we have everything that they recommend installed, and then I will consider this a successful installation. Check next set. That. Continue down. Good. So we had all but one. So now that we've got everything installed, I would consider that a success. So let's just do a shutdown, and then we'll be done.